The 50th annual Sentinel Sports Show. We're having a great time down here, but we do have a show to do tonight. What's on the show?
Well, Larry, in just a couple of minutes, he takes a look at artwork made from things most people throw away. You know what?
What?
It's time once again for Outdoor Wisconsin.
Yes, indeed.
Summer to fall, winter to spring, from Green Bay to where the St. Croix sings, from Kettle Moraine to Superior Shore, outdoor, Wisconsin, outdoor, Wisconsin.
Nancy, One Lap Parish is this year's Channel 10 Century Collection piece in the TV auction, but this wildlife art exhibit is certainly different from the exhibit you looked at in our first segment, isn't it?
Yes, it is. The recycled art exhibit was visited by the Hawley Environmental School, and they really enjoyed it. Just look at their reactions.
Made out of wood.
When I saw this piece, can you talk a little bit about it?
Well, this is a weaving made from plastic bags, from the kind of bags that we get at the grocery store, at the drugstore. And rather than throwing them away, the artist wove them into both a functional piece and also a work of art. And I just felt, I was really taken with it because I felt it was so unique. And according to Mrs. Ciriacks, it lasts forever. It doesn't wear out the way normal rugs do. And she got the idea from rag rugs that our grandmothers used to make. I suppose plastic being as non-biodegradable. Yeah, that makes some sense. Right. And she's really taken the time to work with the colors and the different patterns and create something that's nice to look at. But it also, you know, instead of throwing those plastic bags out, she's reusing them. Are these mostly used as wall hangings then, or rugs? I believe she uses some of them as rugs, but we chose to hang them as works of art. And this is done by the same artist? Yes, it is. And she's used different colored plastic bags and given some, you know, the white background gives it some brightness. And she's taken a lot of care to create a real design out of them. You know, I think if you look closely that you can even see some of the brand names of the plastic bags. That's really interesting. Lynn Slattery-Helmuth is one of
The Avis Wright Show on TV 65 every Sunday night at 8 p.m. Join Avis Wright and her guests each week. She'll talk with members of the educational, church, business, and political communities. The program will be a show dealing with your neighborhood, offering a different perspective to the important issues facing Greater Milwaukee today. This program is designed to reach our youth and give them positive role models, which our youth and young adults something and someone to identify with. We will be identifying these people from our homes throughout the city of Milwaukee, our churches, our schools. Educators, business leaders, church leaders, and political leaders will be our guests each week. So tune in every Sunday at 8 p.m. to the Avis Wright Show, right here on TV 65 in Milwaukee. It's your community-minded television station.
Hello, my name is Avis Wright,
My name is Robert Harris, Jr.
and we'd like to welcome you to the Avis Wright Show. Tonight I have standing with me our Mr. Bob Harris, the new elected Fire and Police Chief Commissioner, and I'm very happy to have him as a co-host tonight.
Well, it's a real pleasure to be here with you, Avis.
I would like to make an announcement about anti-drug rally, which is coming up Saturday the 19th of August, and we're looking for everyone to come out and bring youth, and also we're looking for all those that would like to participate on program. It will start from 10 until 4 p.m. and then from 7 until 10 at Bethel Baptist Church, 2030 West North Avenue. I also would like, my sympathy goes out to all those that have lost a loved one, and also a speedy recovery to those that are convalescent at home and in the hospital. We're going to take a station break and we'll be right back. We have a very interesting show for you tonight.
Can many supermarkets afford low-price specials? It's easy. When they put an item on special, they're forced to keep other prices higher to make up the difference. Drop the price of oranges, keep the price of coffee high. Lower the cola, keep the eggs high. At Cub Foods, we don't have specials. just assured minimum pricing on every item every day. So our low prices at Cub Foods stay low, and so does your total food bill. Cub Foods. It's a new way to run the supermarket.
Big news from Rent-A-Center. The Blockbuster Bassett Furniture Sale. For a blockbusting low $17.99 a week, get a Bassett sofa, oversized lounge chair, and matching ottoman. With quality features like Scotch Guard protection, premium fabrics, and hardwood frames. Available in 3 beautiful styles. And there's a big extra, the Home Free Guarantee. With free delivery, free setup, and more. 3 pieces, 1 low price. $17.99 a week. The Blockbuster Bassett Furniture Sale. For a limited time at Rent-A-Center. With RAC, you're home free.
Ladies and gentlemen, announcing the Ernie Von Schledorn Circus of Values. Traffic-stopping low prices on the most bountiful bevy of beautiful, breathtaking new and used cars, trucks, and vans in Wisconsin. Don't go round in circles looking for your next car. Come to EVS Country for rip-roaring savings and uplifting experience. The Ernie Von Schledorn Circus of Values. Don't miss it!
Hi, I'm Melissa from Cub Foods Capitol Court. This week, fresh from our deli, we have party trays starting at $1.99 a pound. Cub Foods, we're open 24 hours a day.
We'd like to welcome you back this evening. We have in our studio Mr. Robert Harris, Bob Harris for short, and Mr. Ciriacks, Ben Ciriacks from the he's an activist in the Sherman Park area. And this other young lady, let me see what her name is. Linda Stingle. She is from the Northwest Side Community Development Cooperation. And they are here to talk about their organization and some of the things that they are doing within the community. And we're going to thank Mr. Harris once again for co-hosting. I thank you very much.
It's a pleasure to co-host.
To have a fire-in-chief. Tell us exactly what your job entitles you to do.
Well, the official title is a commissioner on the Milwaukee Board, or the Milwaukee Fire and Police Commission. And the mayor of Milwaukee appoints 5 members to that commission. And we serve 4-year terms on the commission, staggered terms, so there's some continuity. And by the statutes of the state of Wisconsin, we are charged with supervising all staff of the Milwaukee Police Department, Milwaukee Fire Department. We also have the responsibility to review any grievances that come from either the unions of both organizations. We also review budget and operations of the both departments to see that they give the maximum of efficiency and service to the community. And it's our responsibility to see that that happens.
It seems to be a very interesting job.
Well, it's a very exciting job. I've jumped in with both feet and I've been running at full speed. If any of you have been reading the newspapers lately, we are now in the process of trying to select a new chief for our community. So we are going through volumes of paperwork, and the process is in gear. We have started to make that search, and if you read your newspaper, you see that there were 38 candidates, and now those candidates, it's our responsibility to whittle that down so that we can bring in some candidates from the outside of Milwaukee, some very outstanding candidates, I might add, and also some candidates, and 15 candidates that are within the police department at the present time.
It is narrowed down to how many now?
Well, we haven't really narrowed it down. I think the press has said we've narrowed it down, but we have looked at all applicants, and I think the next process will be to shrink it down to a manageable number so that we can begin to interview candidates. And eventually our target is eventually to have the chief on no later than early October, hopefully late September, so that he or she can serve this. Well, he, because the woman candidate.
You do have lady candidates.
We have one lady candidate.
Oh,
yes, and we will try to narrow it down so that that person can at least be in the tail end of the city budget process and begin to exercise leadership for the for a fine police department that we already have, but to look to the future so that we can even give better service to our citizens.
Very good. I would like to ask some more questions, but I think I'll wait. Mrs. Linda Stingle, Northwest Side Community Development Corporation. Exactly what is your North Side, West Side Community Development? What is that?
Well, it's the Northwest Side Community Development Corporation.
And is what you do.
We are a community-based economic development organization. And community-based means that our goal is to create an environment which is conducive to do businesses, living, and working. So our goal is economic development and also community growth.
Community growth. How many employees do you have? Six employees.
Six. We have several different things going. One is job placement. We find work for dislocated workers and financially disadvantaged. And then we have an incubator. And should I talk now about the program I'm involved with? Or
right.
later?
You find jobs for qualified applicants.
Right. Right.
Okay.
Applicants that qualify for our program under federal regulations.
Okay. Now, how many minorities do you find, blacks, do you find jobs for? Or how many do you have employed within our establishment?
Employed within our establishment?
And how many is on the board?
2 out of 6. You know, I have to be honest, I'm in my second week with the organization. My boss was out of town, wasn't able to attend this meeting. So I can't tell you exactly how many blacks we have on the board. I can talk about the program I'm working with, and that is our partnership between business and the schools.
So. Oh, Mrs. Ben Zedarak, community activist in the Sherman Park area. I know he has a big interest. I'm reading here his newsletter, and this is the Recycling Man. You want to tell us about your recycling project, Ben?
Well, the recycling activities I'm trying to get going in our neighborhood are primarily revolve around children because the primary focus I have is getting kids involved in anything other than staring into the street. And so recycling seems to be a good way to get money in their hands, to get cans and bottles off the street, and to have positive interactions which will help them develop towards decent adulthood. And they'll develop some job skills that you need: promptness, courtesy, being able to be at certain places at certain times, because I have rules of when they can ring my doorbell and when they can't. And generally they know that when I'm outside working in the yard or around the house, they can come by and I'll buy the cans from them and bottles. And so this is a neighborhood-based recycling enterprise that I'm trying to get going and trying to promote on a larger scale. But it depends more or less on how successful we can get it going in our neighborhood.
Well, tell me exactly how many youth are working with you in the recycling business?
Well, it's in flux, but I would say there's probably at least about 50 different neighborhood kids that come to me at various times. And out of those 50, there are 6 who you could probably identify as nascent entrepreneurs. In other words, they go out and hustle up the cans, and they bring cans to me to the tune of $4.50 at a whack. And usually they're getting them off the street, and sometimes they're getting them out of garbage carts, which creates problems. I have some of the neighbors calling me and letting me know that my kids are out making messes of the alleys, and so I remind them when they come around to me that they shouldn't be leaving a mess in the alley, which is a learning technique also.
Okay, we're going to take a station break right now. We'll be right back.
The way most supermarkets work, produce goes from here to a shipper who takes it to a distribution center where it sits until it's picked up by another shipper who takes it to the supermarket. That costs you money and freshness. But at Cub, we deal directly with the best growers, so most produce is shipped from here to here. That's how Cub gives you maximum freshness at assured minimum prices. Cub Foods, it's a new way to run a supermarket.
Or need to receive it in a hurry? Don't worry. Check Cashing Place in Milwaukee has Western Union's money transfer service. Within Western Union, you can make sure your money is safely sent or received within minutes. The Check Cashing Place also cashes checks, makes money orders, and lets you pay your utilities. The Check Cashing Place has several convenient locations in the community to serve you, also offering extended hours. Just look for the yellow dollar sign of the Check Cashing Place near you.
I spent too many years knocking around in dead-end jobs, so I put my evenings to work, enrolled at MATC, Milwaukee Area Technical College. MATC's no snap, but those instructors know their jobs, and they taught me a lot. Sure, I like my work now, but what I got most out of MATC was a much better feeling about myself.
Trendsetters Ltd, 2119 West Capitol Drive, designs the latest in hairstyles for today's trendsetter, featuring precision cut, curly perms, personalized hair coloring, and creative braid design. Smooth and soften your skin with a complete non-surgical facelift. Mention this ad and get $10 off this treatment imported from Europe. Call 444-2200. Trendsetters, where today's styles are tomorrow's trends.
Welcome back. Ben, we were talking about recycling. And looking at your newsletter here, it says the quality of life. Recycling interactions between caring adults and industrious youth will encourage and enhance mutual awareness and respect for each other, saying, "Hi, Johnny, how is it going today?" is a lot more respectable than respect instilling than saying, "Hey, kid, man, a boy," and so forth. What do you want? The quality of life on your block has been greatly enhanced over the past 12 months, merely from 66 children and numerous adults feeling better about themselves and our block for more names being known and frequently used when addressing each other. I agree. It sounds neat, but I didn't think recycling cans could make a person.
Could do that. Well, that's one aspect of it. The point about the 66 children on our block doesn't have much to do with recycling. That's just the mere fact of that I know everybody's name. I know all of the children's name on our block and across the alley, which is 100. And then there's probably about 50 more from various other neighborhoods that come to me and that I know from bicycling and whatever that I know. And I know that there's a big difference between a kid walking down the street looking at a sidewalk with his head down or her head down and with no smile, and a child who's bouncing along the sidewalk with a smile. And when you say hi, and you can say, "Hi, Tamika, how you doing?" She smiles and she says, "I'm doing fine. How are you doing, Ben?" And I say, "I'm great." And we do this constantly on our block. In fact, it's a game with the kids. When they have someone visiting on our block, they march past the house if I'm out in front, so I can call out the names of each of the children as they walk by.
All right. And do you want these kids to make you a millionaire? How much money are you paying these kids? Are you paying these kids the same amount of money that if they taken these cans to someone that's paying 56, I think it's 56 cents a pound.
It's about 50 cents the last time I called.
Yeah.
Well,
because
I'm paying 50
everybody
cents
is
a pound.
saving cans now. Everybody. Grown people are getting up early in the morning, going out, getting all the cans that they can find. I know because they're in my community and they are in the Sherman Park area. So where are these kids getting these cans? From their homes? Is that where they're getting them from?
Well, they get them from wherever. There's a lot of parents that don't want to let the kids sell the cans, and unfortunately there are a lot of parents who sell the cans themselves, who don't let their kids earn the money from selling those cans. I've seen numerous instances where a neighbor will give the kids the cans and the parents will take the cans away from them. I had been paying 66 cents a pound, which is I pay 2.5 cents a can if there's 40 or more cans. and then 2 cents if there were less than 40 cans, which means I'm losing money for those that are over 40. But my purpose of doing this is not to make money, it's not to lose money either. It's generally to break even, and in the last year I've got a kitty of about $150, and I'm spending that money on our block. I buy brooms to sweep the streets, and I bought a horseshoe set for the empty lots, and I set up a volleyball court in the empty lots that we have, and I'm doing, in other words, all the money that goes in here, I've intentionally made sure that it goes back into the street to help the kids in one way or another. I don't want to get involved in making money. In fact, I don't even reimburse myself for the gas money involved in taking the cans to the recycling center.
So what I hear you saying, Ben, is that the children are the priority.
Right.
And I think that if more of us in our communities and in our neighborhoods and on our blocks, one, would begin to know each other and their children by first name basis, it would also, I think, make the job of the police officers a lot less more difficult, because I think one of the greatest things to prevent crime in our community, since that's my volunteer role right now with the Fire and Police Commission, is to see that people begin to work together in their neighborhoods to improve the quality of life. And I think that one of the best ways to do that is for neighbors to understand and know neighbors, and to welcome neighbors when they move in. Linda, you talked about a neighborly operation that you have going with your Northwest Side Development Corporation, in that you said you had a partnership going with some of the schools. What are some of the schools in the area that you do have your partnership going with?
This year we look forward to having a partnership with Custer High School and Edison Junior High School. We at the corporation firmly believe that the only growth that is really sustainable is growth that is beneficial to all parties involved. So we've got programs where we bring together businesses, schools, and the neighborhood, and have them unite to create an environment that's conducive to live and work in. So what we've got going, two parts of the program we have going are called school-based enterprises, which involves bringing students out into the community and working on projects that are beneficial to the community and at the same time beneficial to the students in helping them develop leadership skills, and beneficial to the community in whatever benefits the project brings. Some examples that have been, some programs that are examples for what we'll be doing have been done in New York and Detroit, Chicago. In New York, some of the schools are getting involved in some of the rebuilding of houses in Brooklyn, and there's a program in place in Chicago that is a computer crime mapping, where students help their neighbors identify where certain crimes have taken place and alert them to that. So we'd like to get involved in these youth as resources programs with Custer.
Well, that sounds like it's going to be a very exciting thing, and I know Bob Peters, the principal at Custer, has just finished his first year over there as principal of the school, and I think he's made a great impact on the attitudes of the students at Custer. And I know Edison High School is one of the feeder schools for Custer High School. So I'm looking forward to hearing more good things about the Northwest Side Development Corporation, Redevelopment Corporation.
It's Development Corporation.
Okay, Development Corporation. And so you have Villard Avenue and that whole business area there?
Right, right, Villard Avenue. Our neighborhood is the northwest side from Capitol Drive to Mill Road and Sherman to Teutonia.
Oh, okay.
Well, I don't guess you can answer the questions, because as you were saying, you have not been on the job too long, but I did have a lot of, I want, inject into this question because you probably don't know, but I've heard that there was a problem as far as promoting black people within your organization.
That's something, yeah, I guess I am too new at the job. Yeah. I'm taking over for Joyce Mallory, who chose to move on.
I might just want to add, this past week, both Avis and I were involved on Wednesday and Thursday at the Pfister Hotel in the Wisconsin Crime Prevention, the Governor's Crime Prevention Convention. And we saw sheriffs and law enforcement officers, men and women from all over the state who attended this conference. And the governor was the main speaker on Wednesday night. And I think the main theme throughout the entire convention was that people have to begin to communicate more with one another. We have to look out for each other's children and each other's neighbors and for ourselves by reaching out and just communicating more with each other. If we're going to change the quality of life in our neighborhoods and going to reduce crime. So that there are many ways in which we can do this, and all the time I think we're encouraged on TV, many stations in this area and nationally have anonymous phone numbers where people can call in when they see suspicious activity going on in their neighborhoods or unlawful activity. And I as a commissioner on the Fire and Police Commission, cannot encourage those of you out there enough to use that technique. No one needs to know that you called in. Your name will not be given back to anyone. And I think you will also be assisting the law enforcement agencies and officers in your community.
Well, I must say that the convention, I learned a lot, and it's the first one that I've ever attended for the governor anyway. And I would also like to encourage those that live within communities that do not already have their block organized, and that is to get in contact with the police department and try to get your block organized, because it really does make a difference. National Night Out was one of the best experiences that I've been to, where all the people came together from different blocks and got a chance to know one another and talk to one another, and it was very good having that type of activity. And I would encourage it very much. Everybody have a block club or